All right, man. Just got out the shower. Make sure we get a good show today. We're gonna talk about that boy. That boy got stretch marks. That boy got stretch marks. What do he say? Stretch pants, stretch marks. I think he said stretch marks on the roll bounce. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy. David Benavidez crying about Canelo ducking. Is David Benavidez ducking David Morrell? And will resumes reign supreme with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight? We'll talk about that in consecutive order. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with your boy. You could be anywhere in this world, especially in this YouTube universe, but you right here with your boy, even if you're not on live. Appreciate everybody watching on the replay. Live or watching the replay, do me that favor and thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Don't forget, check out my other channel, Murder City Sports Talk, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment around the city of Detroit. I do appreciate everybody, man, for supporting the channel. Don't forget, check out the podcast. You can listen to this episode, and hopefully I have some exclusive content coming on pretty soon. Hopefully things start slowing down a little bit more. But yeah, check out the podcast. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor. I mean, we literally everywhere. Radio Public, Spotify. I think I said that already. So make sure you check out the podcast. I appreciate it. Like in my Diddy voice, please listen to my podcast. Give me a rating on the podcast. It's 100% free to rate the podcast. I've been asking y'all for a while to rate the podcast, please. Could you rate the podcast? It's 100% free to listen. It's 100% free to rate it. So I'm gonna have to just continue to repeating myself. But hey, that's what I got to do to get y'all to cooperate. I appreciate it. It costs 100% nothing. If you want to, donate, ask a question, you can do that through Venmo, Cash App, Cash App, PayPal, or the Super Chat. I probably would prefer Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, and I'll read your question from there. But if you must Super Chat, you want to see it come on the screen, and super thanks. Appreciate that. So yeah, man, other than that, everything else you can find me is in that link tree. Instagram, TikTok. Appreciate y'all supporting me on TikTok. The whole shebang. So but yeah, man. So we got a whole situation as far as Benavidez. I seen the interview he did on Fight Hype. No need to replay it. We heard what he said. He said what he said. He said Canelo ducked him, never even got back to him on a $45 million offer. If you didn't see my video from earlier, I did a video talking about, well, rumor is Charlo making 40 versus Charlo, and it was 45 versus David Benavidez. Now, sometime last year when it was another offer, I don't know if Canelo value have dropped. So I can't speak on that. But remember that alleged offer like last year. Remember that offer was up to that offer was like, what's that, 55 million? Now I don't know if his value dropped because he lost the fight or whatever it was. He lost to Beevil or whatever, or maybe his numbers dropped a little bit. I'll get numbers up in my Derek James voice, but now it's 45. And like I said, when you get up to 40, 45, and he keep Mexican TV money, it's all the same thing. But yeah, we got to start this thing off right. Appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Appreciate y'all. Link tree on the screen. It's in the description. But yeah, we start getting up in those numbers, and allegedly he making 10 million at least off of Mexican TV money. Shit, it's pretty much all the same for him. $5 million difference to fight Charlo coming off a 2-year layoff, and people tend to forget a shaky ass performance. A shaky ass performance versus Montiel. That's one thing that we just keep on forgetting, that he did have a shaky ass performance versus Montiel. So we acting like that shit didn't exist. So Then also, if you believe the rumors to be true, then he supposed to be coming off of a back injury in addition to that as well too. So I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, I'm not gonna criticize Canelo. Shout out to Michael Holly. I see you in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure you thumbs up that video. I ain't knocking nobody for the decisions. I ain't knocking nobody for the decisions that they making. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock him. It's his decision to make. You know, is nothing really. There's nothing that I really could knock the guy for. Because what fans do, we complain about. What hardcore fans do, we complain about what we ain't getting. But when we get something, we treat it like it's the shit. You know, we fuck around, get some Vienna sausages, you know, for a fight, pause, and we act like it's a medium well steak from Jay Alexander's. You know, because we just so happy to get back boxing. And then the thing about it is too, right around this time is the dog days in sports. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody trying to. It's the dog. It's the dog days of the sports. You know, right, come around when he fighting he supposed to be fighting Jamal Charlo. That's kind of like right when football start back. So it ain't like really much to talk about. Don't forget that it ain't really much to talk about. You know. So we can't forget that aspect of it. So anything, you know, you do, and for those, let me clarify what the dog days in American sports is. Basically, what the dog days in American sports is like basically when no football, no basketball on. Now, maybe 30, 40, 50, 50, 60 years ago, that would have been the case because, you know, the America's favorite pastime known as baseball used to be the dominant sport. And, you know, tennis was a little bit hotter in the 80s and the 70s and stuff, but nonetheless, we here. But it's the dog days. There's no football, no basketball on, no college football, college basketball, professional basketball, no baseball playoffs on right now. So yeah, that's what we mean when we say dog day. So anything you get from an additional sport that, you know, maybe a home run contest going on between, you know, two, power hitters or whatever you get, WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Whatever you get in addition to that, man, it's a bonus. But boxing, this is the time in America where boxers should be shining with their best content. And like right when the NFL season started, you literally could be getting Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez. Am I disappointed? Yeah, I'm disappointed, but I didn't expect Canelo to fight Benavidez just because of his track record. Just because his track record. I mean, y'all thought that Canelo was cornered. We did that with Al Heyman. Oh, Al Heyman cornered. There's nothing Al Heyman can do. PBC is going away. They gonna have to fold, man, dude. They always already know what's up. They always know what's up. So, you know, we be thinking they can't pull a great Houdini, man. These are businessmen. These are businessmen. And Canelo gonna do his best for Canelo pocket. And Canelo, you gotta understand too. You know, what's that song by Kanye West, Big Brother and all that crap? What you got to understand too is that you really only do what you see. You know, you can hear somebody do something. And I was listening to an interview about a Notre Dame head coach, Marcus Freeman, on the Pivot podcast, which really got me motivated. It's only so much sports talk and red pill, blue pill shit I can take that you should listen to. You should listen to everything in moderation. And the motivational videos, I don't think there's a limit on the motivation. I think you always listen to that.
Put some respect on my name.
But he basically was saying that, you know, he basically was going around basically saying, you know, his story and all that stuff, and it motivated me. And at the end of the day, bro, like, we can't expect something from Canelo that he hadn't shown. And also, you can't expect something from Canelo. And this is Marcus Freeman was saying, like, you know, you can listen to somebody tell you what to do, but a lot of kids, they visual. So, yeah, you say, well, I'm going to come and take you to Kings Island. I'm going to take you to Disney World. You never did. Your word don't mean nothing, bro. They see. Now, if you come take the kid, you keep your word, then your word means something. But they go by action. And at the end of the day, man, Floyd Mayweather wasn't passing no torch. Him fighting Canelo Alvarez Red Chief Cloud, salute, one honor, salute. Him fighting Canelo Alvarez, it wasn't him passing the torch. It was not him passing that torch. Floyd came in there and embarrassed Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez felt like, well, I ain't really never had nobody pass the torch to me regardless. You know, and technically he right. Ain't nobody was passing the torch to Canelo, you know. Canelo, you know, Oscar, you can kind of say, well, maybe Oscar kind of co-signed him and gave him the torch. That's fine. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Maybe Oscar did pass the torch to him, or, you know, whatever the situation was with Oscar De La Hoya. But Canelo built his fan base off free TV, and, you know, at the end of the day, he not going to lay the red carpet out for Benavidez to take over. And what's so funny is you had a lot of fans saying before this came apart, oh, man, Canelo would destroy David Benavidez. You know, I know point of David Benavidez, Canelo fighting David Benavidez, he'll beat him. But don't you want to see it? It's one of the biggest, best fights out there as far as action packed. And Canelo making all that money, there comes with a duty to making all that money. There comes with a responsibility to your consumer. But then again, if, you know, the Zone or Showtime is not going to hold them responsible and they're going to give me money to fight who I want to fight, so be it. And I want to know, because I didn't hear Benavidez talk about this, but I want to know, do Benavidez feel betrayed? Because if they were negotiating and he got an offer Canelo got an offer from Benavidez and they didn't respond to it, maybe he did respond to it and Al Heyman didn't tell him. And then all of a sudden they negotiating about Charlo. And maybe they wasn't even transparent, and they should have been transparent with him unless they had a non-disclosure agreement to unveil what's going on in negotiations between Charlo and Benavidez. But somebody should have been transparent with him. Like, okay, look here, bro. You know, Canelo didn't want your offer. He in negotiation with Canelo or Jamal Charlo. We want to tell you before anybody else find out. But he probably found out just like we did. You know? And that's crazy. That's real crazy.
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
And in a way, that's unacceptable. Now, if it's a non-disclosure agreement there, it ain't really nothing that you can do about it. Let's call it what it is. It ain't really nothing that you can do about it. If it's a non-disclosure agreement in there. You know? But I just feel that, you know, Benavidez got to move on. Y'all can't be hung up on what Canelo doing. Sometimes, you know, you got to forge your own path. Al Money, what's going on? Love the name. Sometimes, some hope you get money. Hope y'all all get money. But sometimes you got to forge your own path, bro. That's as simple as that. Sometimes, you know, you got to listen to the universe. Maybe it ain't meant for you to fight Canelo Alvarez. You know? Maybe it's best for the forces. And I know he said, well, you know, Canelo don't want to fight. He should say that. Well, him not sending your offer back and then turning around and fight your PBC stablemate and Jamal Charlo, I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. He don't plan on fighting you. You know it, we know it. Now, just because you're the mandatory, that don't mean a goddamn thing. Excuse my language. That don't mean anything because you're the mandatory. What does that mean? Canelo is not held responsible for fighting his mandatories. We all know why. He brings too much money to the division. So you can fight David Morrell, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And you can unify the division. You could be the interim regular WBA unified champion of the world or title holder of the world with David Morrell, and that's fine and dandy. Real spill, that's fine and dandy. Congratulations. But they still not going to force, Canelo upon you. Canelo still going to get the franchise champion. They're going to make him the super duper WBA champion. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure he protected. It's too much money. It's a cash for play situation. And do I feel bad for David Benavidez? Man, I feel bad for all these fighters that want to be great. But the ultimate question is, when the ball is in your court, when you the king, will you be Canelo, or will you turn into Canelo, or will you keep the same principles? Is the question. That's the $1 million questions. Will you be Canelo and just start basically playing the field? And I can't blame you. I talk about how I ain't like how Devin Haney turned the other cheek on Vasily Lomachenko all the time. I ain't like that.
Get him out of here. Yeah, move him out of here.
You know, I talked about that all the time. How I didn't really like that from him, and where he shouldn't have gave Lomachenko a shot, but he felt like the Lomachenko fight was going to validate his undisputed run, and I couldn't get mad at it. Johnson, salute. I couldn't get mad at it. You know, I couldn't get mad for him spinning the block on Lomachenko like a pros fighters fighter. But don't nobody want to hear the truth about Canelo. You know, anytime you start speaking the truth about somebody that's significant in the sport, don't nobody want to hear the truth. But I tell the truth for reference points, and I tell the truth for myself. Because this is what I want to do. And Canelo, everybody know Canelo is a hoe for this. And it ain't just about Benavidez neither, bruh. He made Triple G wait all them years, and if you got the networks by the balls and they allow you to pull the fight a John Ryder or a Rocky Fielding, or they allow you to fight a Jamal Charlo coming off a 2-year layoff, they allow those things and let you pick and choose where you want to go. And if I can't get this on the zone, I'm gonna go to ESPN. I can't get this on ESPN, I'm gonna go to PBC. Shame to him. David Benavidez in the foxhole or in the bunker with his enemy. See me online. David Benavidez is in the foxhole or in the bunker with his enemy. He's in the foxhole or he in there with his enemy. And that's as simple as that. He in there with his damn enemy. And it's unfortunate. Because if this is the fight we want to pay you the most for, you know, they just so thirsty for Canelo, they just as thirsty as boxing fans is. It could be Cracker Jack Joe versus Camel Hump Silas, and people gonna watch it regardless because it ain't nothing else to watch on TV unless you get out there and you go party or something. But like a lot of times we already know better than, you know, we already know what's on the horizon with this country and with the world. So the best thing you could do is stack money and stack assets. So we already know it really ain't about, you know, grinding and shining right now. We know what's up with that. We know that's not in our best interest. Just, you know, we just got to grind the grind. Stay at the crib. Stay out the way. We know it's an election year. We know in an election year, we know what got to happen to a certain amount of brothers out there. Do the speed limit. You know, don't ride dirty. Don't smoke and drive. Don't have that illegal tent. Take that out. We know what election year means. It means, you know, somebody got to go. A lot of people got to go. Like that movie, The Purge election year. That's exactly what I'm trying to say in so many words. And that's the uncomfortable truth. And that's the uncomfortable truth. You know? So we know what it means. So at the end of the day, it's just thirst. The networks are thirsty for whatever Canelo want to do. He held the zone captive with the Triple G trilogy fight. They let him fight Rocky Field, and they let him fight Callum Smith. They let him come and go as he pleased, and rightfully so. He got that right. I can't say that he earned that right, but he got that right. He got that right. Not mad at it. Because what we bitching and complaining for, and, you know, a lot of y'all still going to watch. And if he lose or something significant happen, I'm still going to go back and watch and still talk about it. So that's what I got to say. You know, but you feel bad for Benavidez, but we felt bad for Jermell Charlo a bunch of times. Demetrius Andrade is another one. I'm gonna get to him. Demetrius Andrade made some bad business decisions in his career, but you feel bad for him. And it's just like these dudes waiting around for Pacquiao and Mayweather to get him an opportunity. And if Benavidez gonna sit there and allow Canelo to hold him captive and wait for the sanction belt bodies to do the right thing, he gonna look dumb as hell at the end of the day. Long story short, him and Beaver need to fight each other. The rest of these dudes gonna do the same thing if they're in that position. And it's true, Dre Berry, salute. You know it. You know it. You know it. Ain't not too many people gonna have that Devin Haney energy and say, you know what? I'm gonna spin the block on your ass. Let me know if you want to come on, Kobe. Salute to Kobe. I think Morrell, one of those ones you could really sell to him to a fan base because he's Cuban. He really could fight anybody. Anytime. Bye. Mason want to get on screen. Look, Mason alive. Just want to be a baby. One time for Mason. What you want? What you want to hit?
Another one. And
go.
Another one. And another one. And another one.
I just took him for a walk. He don't like the heat though. My brother don't like the heat. He got lazy today. Just slayed in the shade. But he is all black. Or mostly all black. He got white, brown on his ass. All right, bro. Like, I'll let you up here. Got anything you want to say boxing wise? I didn't think so today. I didn't think so.
My man.
What's going on, D-Ray Promotion? Salute. What's good? We in the building. Shout out to Kurt Stewart. But yeah, man, Benavidez ain't did shit. Guys waiting around. Bradley, Devin Alexander, a lot of guys waiting around for Floyd Mayweather. It didn't happen. A lot of guys ready for Manny Pacquiao when it did happen. Manny Pacquiao made niggas do catch weights and rehydration clauses and all that shit. So be careful what you wish for if you David Benavidez. Hell of a fighter. I want to see him get the opportunity. But if you ain't gonna stay there for Canelo, who else you gonna fight? Because Jamal Charlo more times than not, 9 times out of 10, he about to get that ass taxed. Let's call it what it is. We know he gonna get his ass taxed. We know that. So what you gonna fight Canelo leftovers? The best ability for the best thing that Canelo that Benavidez can do is either fight Demetrius Andrade, fight Dave Morrell. The best thing he could do is go ahead and fight old buddy. It's fight Dimitri Bivol. And my thing is, why not fight Bivol at 168 pounds? Yo, WBC belt, interim belt is on the line for him to be mandatory for Canelo. His 175-pound belt is on the line because it's not north of 175. And that way, you will have some options. You still at 168, you know. And maybe people say, well, the 168 was just for the Canelo fight. Okay, then we go up to 168 pounds and we go up to 168 pounds and we 75 pounds, we fight Benavidez. Why not? Because David Morrell, that's ain't nothing but risk. Let's call it what it is. David Morrell ain't shit but risk. What up, Kobe?
What's going on, brother?
That don't make a lot of sense fighting David Morrell. I don't mind seeing it.
Do you think that fight is competitive though?
Yes, I think he could lose that fight.
More well, we already know the result of the Caleb Plant fight, but was it that?
Man, baby, David Morrell beat the fuck out of Caleb Plant.
You think so?
You heard that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He'll
beat the hell. Yeah, man. No offense to Caleb Plant, bro. My Tennessee, my Cashville, Tennessee brethren.
Yeah, don't talk about
David Morrell
like that. He's one of the bravest young brothers that we got in this black community of ours.
Man, dude. But I'm gonna talk about Morrell in a minute. What you think about this Benavidez Canelo thing?
Man, bruh, I already told you what I thought, bro. I just think that is, you know what? And I had to think about this because I was listening to your video today. Make sure y'all check out the videos that CJ dropped earlier today. You know what? I was listening to David Benavidez, I was listening to him cook, and I agree with everything that he said, and I agree with everything that you say and everybody else is saying about Canelo that's been criticizing him. But then I had to go back and think, and you know what? There's only one person that we really can blame, and that's David Benavidez. Because guess what? This undisputed shit wouldn't have happened if he hadn't lost his fucking belt on the scale in the first place. So we can't sit back and criticize Canelo for doing what Canelo has always done, which has been go back, and if you look at Canelo from, I got the list right here, CJ. If we look at Canelo's resume, he's fought Josecito Lopez. He pulled him up from 140. Austin Trout, old ass Shane Mosley, Kermit Cintron, Matthew Hatton for a belt, which was a catchweight, Carlos Valdemir, who was over the hill. Canelo has been consistent at doing what Canelo does. So why are we even surprised at Canelo's actions now, giving Jamal Charlo an opportunity after he ain't fought in two years? He said he had a back injury. I was told behind the scenes in DC at the Tank fight that the back injury was legitimate. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not a chiropractor, but the fact that he's doing this, it shouldn't surprise you. So why the hell are we surprised that Canelo, in a fight for the WBA, for a WBA mandatory, he get to unify a vacant WBC title on top of it? Whose fault is that really? It's David Benavidez's fault.
Yeah, that is true.
It's not saying that we not giving Canelo no pass. Because listen, if it's up to me, I could sit here for an hour and criticize Canelo. But the facts are the facts. This ain't Canelo's fault. If you and I get an opportunity at a free $1 million, we gonna take it, right?
Exactly.
Tax free. So why not? That's Benavidez's fault. He should have been disciplined. And don't blame it on the pandemic, because guess what? If Adrian Broner can make weight in the pandemic, why can't David Benavidez?
And not even just that too, bro. Like, it's to the fact where for Benavidez too, it allowed Canelo to fight Callum Smith, who people forgot was like the Diamond champion. And his issue went all the way back to the Anthony Durrell situation, and he got the fight for it at a catchweight.
See?
Jay Hardaway, salute.
So it's just there's faults on both sides, as I should say, because
we can't fault Canelo Alvarez because you know what he is.
Yeah, exactly. You can't fault him. You know what he is. And I blame, and you know what? I'm gonna take it even further, CJ, if you would allow me. I blame David Benavidez because guess what? Canelo would have been really forced to fight him if he would have forced Al and Samson to unify with Caleb Plant earlier.
Yep. But it all worked out for Caleb Plant because he got a couple big paydays.
He's the one with the bag.
Yep. And he ended up, and at the end of the day, they was conditioned to wait. And then he ended up with no titles. I mean, Canelo undisputed. Technically, he don't have to defend it. But, and then, should he feel betrayed if they went behind his back and offered him 40 to fight Charlo?
Business is business. It's not what you're owed. It's what you negotiate, right?
Yeah, true. TB, I'm gonna send it to your Twitter.
We got to get TBE on here.
I'm gonna send it to him right now.
We got to get TBE on here.
I mean, I don't get mad at man. You can't get mad at somebody knowing what they are.
You can't, bro. This is Canelo. This is what Canelo does. Canelo's CJ. What would you say Canelo's 5 biggest fights are?
Mayweather, or biggest or best?
Biggest, not best.
Mayweather. You talking about just like the overall grossing, or are we talking about like
just for his legacy?
Oh, like Mayweather, Lara, Austin Trout,
Triple G, Cotto.
Shit. No, I mean,
because that's Mexico, Puerto Rico.
I don't know. I think Triple G, part 1 and 2.
Triple G,
Trout, Mayweather, Lara. That'd be it for me. I don't respect the Kovalev fight, the Bivol fight. I mean, those would be the ones for me. People beat the shit. I can send it to your Twitter, TB, and I put it also in the Discord if anybody else want to jump on.
Now, peep this. You named out of all them fights that you named, you can debate that he's lost all of them outside of
I
Triple G.
mean,
Outside of
yeah.
Triple G too.
I thought he won. I thought he won that one for sure. I
Yeah,
thought
he
he
won
won the
that
first
clearly
one, but
too.
yeah, I think he won it clearly. I mean, shit. I mean, he's not a confident guy, but I mean, Chavez was robbing motherfuckers live on
Left
TV.
and right, no, clearly robbing him though, because that Pernell
Clearly
shit.
robbed people on TV, bro. Like you can make a couple times that he lost and they took away his loss, so it ain't nothing new. Every time Juan Lopez lost, Juan Marquez lost, he cried. Lopez too. Shit, he Puerto Rican though. So, I mean, like I said before, to me, it ain't hard to be the greatest Mexican boxer of all time. Only way it would have been significantly harder to do if Salvador Sanchez would have carried his career out.
Exactly.
Because Chavez wasn't shit. I mean, he got beat by Frankie Randall, who, according to Mayweather, had a drug. Was an alcoholic.
Yeah, he was a raging alcoholic.
He got beat by a dude who struggled with alcoholism. Like, they didn't get beat. He got outclassed. He should have lost another time to him, too.
So
he should have lost. A lot of people felt like he should have lost to Mildred Taylor too.
Mildred Taylor.
And Richard Steele took that from him.
Yeah, he did that bullshit.
And then he got dominated by Pernell. And this is the best you got.
Not dominated, outclassed.
And that's the best that y'all saying it is. And Canelo Alvarez ain't shit neither. Chavez better than Canelo Alvarez.
I think so.
I ain't impressed by Canelo.
At least Chavez.
Really, I think Marquez better than Canelo too.
I rate him. I rate
Marquez more. At least Marquez legitimately knocked Pacquiao the fuck out. And then a couple other times I felt that he won.
You know what? So I forgot about
When has Canelo ever knocked a motherfucker out in a big fight? I will fucking wait.
Amir Khan.
And that motherfucker was getting smoked.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
Bro,
he was out there getting smoked.
I don't care what nobody says.
That motherfucker, if Khan knew how to keep his chin on the tuck, that motherfucker was winning every round. Tucker B11. He said Kobe on fire. But yeah, let's move on, right? Oh, we're on TV. Good. Right on time. Right, not on time, right on time. What's going on TV, bro?
Oh, hold on. Let me kill my
You good. You can unmute when you're ready. But I'm gonna talk about Morrell too. That's where we're gonna go next. And Benavidez, and then he like, oh, I don't want to fight Morrell. But no, motherfucker, you was running your mouth about fighting David Morrell. So in my opinion, he kind of got to see David Morrell. I really would prefer to him seeing Demetrius Andrade, and I don't know if that's let me see if TB ready.
Works.
TB ready? Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right, before we move to David Morrell and Benavidez, what you think about Canelo and Benavidez in that situation?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you got the floor.
You know Canelo's not gonna fight Benavidez, bro. I mean, Benavidez know that. I mean, come on. I mean, he can't catch him with a catch weight or drain him or do something. I mean, if you don't get an advantage, that fight's not gonna happen.
You forgot the rehydration clause, TB.
Yeah, even though I think he could probably beat Benavidez. I think he would beat Benavidez.
You do?
Yeah.
You got to elaborate on that one.
Well, I mean, look at the fight with Sweet Hands and Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Sweet Hand had the power of Canelo and the endurance of Canelo, he would have won that fight. I mean, but he just couldn't hang with the cardio. But
and the pressure.
Yeah, and Canelo would put more pressure, and I think that Canelo is just he can fight just as good as Sweet Hands, but better. I mean, he's stronger. So I think he would beat Benavidez, but maybe you don't want to take a chance. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I think it's a thing of confidence with Canelo.
I mean, when he had Kenny Bayless by his side, when he had Kenny Bayless on the side.
I would have fought Benavidez 3 years ago if I was him.
Basically during the pandemic.
Yeah, catch him when he's fresh and he's not, getting any experience. You know what I mean? But I don't understand these guys. They don't know how to, use strategy against these fighters. It's like the Devin Haney fight with Lomachenko. If Lomachenko would have fought Devin Haney when Devin Haney called him out, he would have beat Devin Haney. He waited too long. You know what I'm saying?
He built up that, and that's what. And it's crazy, TBE. Devin Haney had built up that resume and fought tough fights leading up to the Lomachenko fight to where he knew how to get through a 12-round fight with that caliber of fighter.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying that Lomachenko should have took him on immediately when he called him out. You should have just said, "Okay, you want to fight me? Let's go," and just take the fight. But the rest, the rest is history, as we see. You see, I mean, the only person that's playing their cards right is Spence.
Oh, don't worry, TB. We gonna get there soon. We gonna get there. Just be patient. We gonna get there soon. We gonna get there soon, brethren. We gonna get there soon. CJ.
So what did hey
Go ahead.
so what David Benavidez say he don't want to fight Morrell now, right?
Yeah, after all that shit he talked.
So you got to fill me in on this one, CJ, because I'm a little out the loop with this because this don't make no sense.
So he basically, his daddy first came on and said that they would prefer to want to fight on Mill City Boxing. They would prefer to fight David Morrell or Jaime Munguia. I mean, excuse me, Dimitri Bivol and Jaime Munguia over David Morrell. Now, but he been talking all that shit about fighting David Morrell, and basically he said David Morrell don't bring shit to the table. That's pretty much what he said. And but then again, wasn't he saying that Dave Morrell ready to fight? Let's fight.
That's what he said.
So you can't really, you can't sit there and renege now. I mean, I know you was looking at how much money you was gonna make versus Canelo, and what you gonna make versus Benavidez ain't gonna nowhere near be the same. But basically he reneged. Now Morrell has some wild shit to say in response to that. He said David Benavidez is a big old bitch, said what? Morrell Jr.
You're joking.
Continue quote, his dad is a big fraud, always talking like he's some tough guy, but he's just a small man with the little man complex. His brother wants to be gangster who talks a lot of ish but got knocked out by Crawford and did a horrible job in the movie Creed. The Benavidezes are a bunch of cowards. This is the guy you call the Mexican monster. He's a fraud. This is the guy everyone is building up. I see a fat, insecure boy. That's what I see. Benavidez couldn't walk down any street in Cuba without getting his shoes taken. Funny, he calls Canelo a duck who's ducking now.
Whoa.
That's hardcore, but I gotta disagree with him on one thing though. Jose Benavidez Jr. did a great job in Creed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he did.
I agree with that. Me too.
He did a good job.
Yep, he did a great job.
You got to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
If the boy can't win a fight, the one thing that he can do is get him a nice movie.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He's a good actor. He can act. Yeah.
He showed that he has some talent. So I can't disagree.
So that's just capped by David Morrell. He's just capping right there. But I feel where he's coming from. But I mean, you don't got nothing to offer, bro. That's the bottom line. It's like Shakur. What do you got to offer Devin Haney? Nothing. I mean, bro, wait your turn. Go fight Tank or go fight Lomachenko or go fight some fights you can get.
Beat up Pitbull.
You can probably get Lomachenko. Go fight him. He took your spot. He took your number one spot. You know what I mean? So fight him.
Listen.
My thing is he shouldn't have committed to fighting him then. Now you want to renege. Now only way he said before all that, now Canelo ain't an option. What's the excuse? Either you fight him, Bivol, or Demetrius Andrade. The only way I'm getting him a pass. And he fuck around and fight Joe Smo Johnson. Nah. I don't care if Benavidez Morrell don't bring shit to the table. You should have kept your mouth shut and you would have just kept your damn mouth shut.
And nobody would have been looking.
Nobody would have said. Everybody would have understood. Like, man, what the fuck Morrell did? He got 8-9 fights. He ain't did shit.
I mean, and the crazy thing is, if you look in hindsight, Mike Tyson didn't do him any favors either. Remember, he was hyping him up with the Mexican monster. So now everybody's looking for this Mexican monster who put on a show with the Caleb Plant fight, and he was talking big cash shit. And now somebody calls you out and calls you a big bitch quote.
ain't even just said that he called you out because don't nobody know who the fuck he is. But the thing about it is, you already committed verbally to one to fight him.
Yeah, he committed. He said, "Let's."
Because remember he said, but then he said, but he ain't ready. He said he needs some more fights. But when he get ready, we can fight. All right, then you said that, so you can't walk back and fight nobody lesser than Morrell. That's all I'm saying. He can't walk it back.
He gonna say. I mean, you gonna give him a pass. You gonna say, look, I'll fight Morrell, but not right now. You know, I got bigger fish to fry right now. So
Okay, but you can't turn around and fight Get Back Johnson now. You can't fuck around and fight Get Back. Only way you can get Back Johnson if you move up to 75 and say I just want to test the waters. That's the only way you can fight Get Back Johnson right now.
Beat up on Jesse Hart or something.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna say that Morrell is chasing him out the division. So I mean,
at this point, that's why it's best to shut the fuck up.
Be quiet.
Leo Santa Cruz is the goat at that. Leo, do you want to fight him? I mean, I see what Al Heyman do.
And everybody that I meet that talks about Leo, they always say he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I see what Al do, and I don't know, but we'll see. He ain't selling you no lies, no dreams. I'm telling you the truth. He do it with kindness. I ain't tripping. But when you sit there and you verbally commit like he did, man, that's tough. I mean, it's a fight. Shout out to Johnson and Jeffrey Sharp. I mean, it's a risk that he don't really bring nothing to the table. I don't even know if people outside of Minnesota know who David Benavidez is. I mean, David Morrell is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing that he brings to the table for Benavidez. So why are you gonna fight him now when he could be looking to make bigger fights than Morrell? I mean, you don't make any. I mean, come on.
Yep, Yep, and at the end of the day, but then they talking about putting it on pay-per-view. They got a co-main, Fondora Mendoza 2 already.
I just think that it's obvious that David Benavidez wants the payday. He wants the payday.
Yeah, come on,
man.
I don't think
I think he gonna tear Canelo out the frame. I think he'd take it. Everybody want to talk about size. Canelo gonna come to Canelo too small to be in there with him. I don't kind of blame Canelo. Canelo too small to be in there. We all see the size difference.
To be there with who?
With Benavidez. I mean, shit, Morrell too. Shit, and Morrell can fight.
Oh man, what are you? I'm telling you,
man, he's too small, bro.
He
will not beat him. Man, motherfucker barely beat He barely beat Triple G the third time.
You saw the fight against Bevo, right?
Man, dude, Bevo, man. I think, dude, man. I don't think that fight will go the distance, bro. Unless Kenny Bayless is the guy that can say him. The one that's singing that shit in Smallville. We need a hero to say. Yeah, you need a fucking hero to say him.
Somebody say.
Yeah, Nickelback. I mean, that's Spider-Man. My bad. I bet the bread Benavidez top dog.
You think so?
I bet the bread on that one. He too little, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all niggas, man. He's too small.
Breaking him up. And
ain't gonna be no. Hey, that's the only way, Kenny Bayless, because he say Caleb Plant the sweet cheeks. He say his sweet cheeks. Wet Fish was on the line that night. That nigga must have bet on the motherfucking fight or whatever he done did. Because he say that ass.
I told you Caleb Plant wasn't going to get knocked out. He was going in there to prove a point.
Man, he was getting knocked out. He was definitely going to get knocked out.
You got to give it to Caleb, though, boy. He stood in there and took his ass whooping like a man.
Nigga held on. Holding on.
It's very hard
when the love is gone.
I'm pretty sure. Stop. Let's stop the fight. He probably said, nah.
Man, that nigga had no other choice. That nigga never showed his face in the boxing circle again, bro.
You're not giving him credit for sticking in there, bro. Come on. I mean,
man, if that was any other referee, if that was the referee with the big ass eyes, that bitch would be knocked out.
Oh, the dude that be in Brooklyn.
Oh man.
The guy that do all the Crawford fights.
Yeah, he would have been
He was
knocked
at
out.
the P.O. and Josh Taylor fight.
And then if it was Jack Reese, he probably would have died in that motherfucker. Jack Reese don't give a
gonna let you
fuck.
die.
You ain't lying. Or Arthur McKinney gonna let you die. The one that threw the towel back in for
Artie, aka racist Artie.
Hey, he was in there the whole time, bro. It was up to Benavidez to take him out, and he couldn't do it. So,
No, man, that nigga was hugging. Kenny Bayless stopped that stoppage. We all got to agree on that one.
I'm not hugging, man. If you got the guy like that, you should be able to take him out, bro.
Man, dude, Kenny Bayless. Every time them niggas got close, here come Kenny. Let me save you, Caleb. You thought that he was the Arthur McKinney ass. You thought they was Aryan brothers.
If anybody should be getting, if you should be criticizing anybody, it's Benavidez because he the one.
Man, Caleb playing that man. He should have been. If anybody ever should have been disqualified for holding, the referee should have been suspended. And I like Kenny Bayless. I got an interview with Kenny Bayless. It should have been them two motherfuckers right there. They should have been them two motherfuckers, man. No, I can't even say. I can't even cry, but I can't even say. I mean, you still can say you suspend. But shout out to Caleb Plant, bro. His career was over with had he got stopped. We all know it.
That's why he stood up. He said, first of all, y'all not in the mind. He too used to making that bread.
I ain't mad, but his career been over with.
Because he couldn't. What's his name? Couldn't take him out. Benavidez couldn't take him out, and whether he was holding or running or whatever he was doing.
Man, them niggas was playing Tekken tag in that motherfucker. Kenny Bayless and motherfucking but it is what it is. They probably was in on it together. How about that? They was too buddy for me. They was too buddy for me after the fight.
Well, you gotta respect a man after you don't beat his ass for 12
rounds. Yeah. All this shit about my dad, kid. Oh man, bitch, we gotta have a rematch in the parking lot. But the only way I'm giving this Joker a fucking pass if he stays 68 and don't fight Dave Morrell, and I love David Benavidez, he got to fight Demetrius Andrade.
I mean, that's the only other option he got, right?
That's really the only option if he didn't open his fucking mouth. That's really the only option.
Unless what I think is going to happen happens still, and he fights Badu Jack somehow, then he's still his second.
He ain't fighting Badu Jack. Let it go. Badu Jack counting Arab money no matter how you divide it up.
I'm still not letting it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I'm not letting it go because they brought up Badu Jack, and I told you, CJ, that was
he talking about he want to drain a 40-year-old man, 39 to be exact, 20 pounds under the weight limit.
Badu Jack would be 40 by the time they fight, I think.
Man, dude, don't get me started on. I'm the video choice. Don't give. Look here, dude. This the only fight that I give him a pass unless Canelo, Charlo becoming back. And then Charlo wasn't trying to fight Benavidez neither. He wasn't gonna move up for Benavidez, but that Canelo check different, so I'll give him a pass. But it's the only fight.
Isn't he retired? Isn't Charlo retired?
No, shit. You can't retire when you're going through a divorce. TL can try that shit. He think the friend of the court now, and the court system ain't gonna drain it. He'll be back. He'll be back quick as hell. He think he find a loophole, and I ain't get this, man. They taking money from men who ain't even got it.
How long man, I had fought, man, 2-3 years now.
2 years, and then he was coming off an injury and a shaky performance versus Montiel. I should have knew he wasn't gonna do shit versus Montiel when he training at the house with his kids and shit.
And shooting hoops with Steven Jackson.
Yeah, he got motherfucking Ronnie Shields training him in his backyard and shit. Anytime a fighter training in their backyard, we saying it right now. Because Kobe called it for Ryan Garcia. Any fighter training in their backyard,
garage,
red flag. Or garage, red flag.
I see you hitting a speed bag right next to your water heater or your boiler. You ain't ready for the fight.
How you focus and you got your nagging ass wife right next to you every night? How you focus, bruh? You gonna lose. Winning, being in the process of winning and women don't go together. I said it. Being in the process of winning and women don't go together. Don't steal my fucking phrase. I just came up with that. Women want to show up after all the winning been done. There you go.
This is the facts. These are facts.
They nag you too much for you to get to where you want to get. They want bags. They want Victoria's Secrets. They want shit, all that other bull. But this is the only acceptable fight he could take other than Morrell at 68. And Demetrius Andrade got a training video where he switch hitting and shit. Andrade is going to go right up to the Hall of Shame with Gary Russell and Carl Dargins out of that Olympic class. Out of that amateur class.
The only one that seemed to make it out, clawing.
Bud and Danny Garcia. Bud and Danny Garcia was not as celebrated as Carl Dargins. You know, he married Lil Mo, and you know how that went.
Yeah.
What did you say, nigga?
Yeah, it ain't go good, Sneak Meaner. It didn't go good. And then Gary Russell, he 35, calling out Shakur Stevenson.
What did you say, nigga?
I don't know what he talking about.
Gary.
He ain't even got no. We ain't seen Gary almost 2 years. He fought last January 2022 is to be exact.
Yeah,
So we ain't. So he called out Shakur Steve. I don't know what's going on. And then who else? Demetrius Andrade. Him and Gary Russell must still got the same business practice. For real. He said Canelo ain't shit with his Andrade. We ain't saying Andrade is shit, but we do know Canelo duck Andrade.
And CJ, on top of that, PBC officials don't even like Demetrius Andrade.
They don't like nobody that ain't homegrown PBC. They don't.
They called him quote unquote boring.
But then again, they put Leo Santa Cruz on the goddamn big screen.
Yo.
Come on, man. Come on. All the boring ass Laura fights.
Yo.
Listen, I was in Brooklyn when Charlo iced Lubin and emptied the arena. Laura came out to a total of 300 people in Barclays Center and fought and nearly had me sleep.
So, I mean, but yeah, let's spin this on Spence and Crawford. I want to go I want to watch the Secret War episode. I started watching it at on my lunch.
What about that? Is that coming out tonight?
What, the Secret Wars?
Yeah.
It's a TV show. It's on Disney Plus. You know, they only did one episode. Yeah, they did one episode of it. But I started watching a little bit. It's on Disney Plus. You can fire stick that shit. But Disney Plus is dope though. I can't lie. They got they re-picking up the 90s X-Men. It's picking up where it stopped at. So I think that's what, next year. Yeah. And then they pushed back. I meant to do a Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie review. I didn't get to it. But then they pushed that shit back till 2027. So you gotta wait till the second half of the movie for fucking 4 years. Like, dude, we don't even know if we're gonna be alive. Exactly. So that's wild. But pretty much, you know, they making a lot of hoopla about Terrence Crawford resume. I don't know if I posted it short. He did an interview with Brian Cruster. He basically kind of went in and explained himself about his resume, and he says every time that I do fight somebody, they say it's gonna be a tough fight, I'm gonna lose, and then I fight them, they basically move the line. He said he basically like Roy Jones. He said, when Roy said, they said I'm not fighting nobody, I just make them look like nobody. And like I said before, Errol Spence been saying this shit the whole time, basically saying that Terrence Crawford ain't fought nobody. At first, I just thought him and Derrick James was using it to just give you an excuse on why the fight didn't happen. But now they're using it going into the fight as well. And also, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford ran up on Derrick James. And I took it as, I'm somebody that grew up in the street, understand the streets very, very well. The way he walked up on that nigga, I took it like Derrick James took it. Like, you ain't gonna walk up to me like, what up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nigga, I'm ready to put the dukes up.
He said, what's good? Basically.
Yeah, really, yeah. Anybody say come up to you, say what's good? Oh, man, I'm ready to square. I'm ready to square the fuck up. So Derrick James was right. But then again, Derrick James had a right to feel that way too, because guess what? All that foul ass shit he said about Terrence Crawford.
Well, listen. Well, look at this. Let's break it down. We could take it down. We could take it back to 2020, where I feel like.
Hold on, let me post it first too. Hold on, so everybody can see it who ain't seen it. Hold on. Here, if you ain't seen it, here you go. Let me play it.
We'll go on mute.
Here we go.
I said, what's going on? You stupid motherfucker. I said, what's going on? I said, what's going on? All right. I said, they no more. I got too long. I've been preparing.
So, I mean, you seen it.
He said, you stupid motherfucker.
That's ridiculous, man. He was just saying hi to the guy, man. What the? So what's Derek James getting upset about?
You know what that is? TV.
I don't like. If they don't walk up to me like that, I ain't gonna lie.
Walk up to you like what? If you walk up to you and say what's going on?
No. Hold on. You know what that is? You know what
like that nigga walking up right there, I ain't gonna lie, dog. That was good, bro. No, I'm probably gonna square with you. I ain't gonna front.
TBE CJ, hold on. You know what that is? Derek James's reaction is an omission of guilt. And I want to take it back to 2020 when we were in the pandemic. There was a little show that Derek James was on, the Lion Killer podcast. Like, subscribe, and share to that channel. And Derek James was berating Bomac and Terrence Crawford and his resume. The coaching of Bomac and saying that Bomac has nobody in his stable. He hasn't coached anybody. He said that Terrence, on numerous occasions, starting with that very moment there, he said Terrence Crawford was a built fighter who had never been through any type of adversity in his career. Then we go to Earl. Earl said that Bomac is fat. Look at Bomac's boxing record compared to my coach's boxing record. How can this coach teach this man how to beat me when he hasn't beaten anybody himself? My coach's record is way better. He's built an undisputed champion, and he's going to build a future undisputed champion. All of these things have been said about Terrence Crawford and his coach Bomac and his team. He also said that Bernie was uncivilized and was a wild animal. All these things that they had said. So we know, us three, we all know that these boxers, they watch everything that YouTube does because that's the only attention that they get. That's the only type of media attention that they get outside of Canelo Alvarez, maybe Anthony Joshua. So when you look at this, and when you see somebody like Terrence Crawford who hears everything and has seen everything, you think that when he saw Derek James by himself, he wasn't going to confront him, but in the most professional way possible? And the fact that Derek James didn't say what up, and he said, the first thing that came out of his mouth, pause, was, "What is your issue with me? Fool, what you mean, what is my issue with you? I'm just saying what's up." That's him saying, yo, bro, I'm just the coach. You're fighting my fighter. I didn't do anything to you. But you expect that his energy's not going to be on that level? Listen, the crazy person, the baddest man don't really do all the talking. The baddest man usually stays silent. And that's how I'm going to end that one.
Are you habitually using drugs, stimulants, alcohol?
Derek James has. Go ahead.
I think that Crawford walked up on Derek. He just said, "What's up?" Okay. Derek saw Crawford. I mean, what do you think? Crawford's gonna come and punch him or something? I mean, he's not gonna do anything to him. He's got media all over the place. I mean, nothing's gonna happen. He's just saying, "What's up?" So Derek looked like he got, a little intimidated. You know what I'm saying? Just by the presence of Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So you saw how fast he was walking. So now, I mean, like he didn't want to acknowledge Crawford. You know what I mean? So that's what it came down to. And after Crawford made the first move and said, "What's up?" and he just tried to walk by, like, Nah, you can't just walk by like that. I mean, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So that's what that stuff's all about, man. That's all I see. I don't see anything anything more than that. Uh, at the end of the day, Derek James is a trainer. He knows boxing. Okay, he knows what he's doing. He's a good strategist. He sees what Crawford represents. No matter what you hear come out of his mouth. Okay, whatever comes out of his mouth is what's going to come out of his mouth because that has to come out of his mouth because he has his fighter. But you can't tell me that Derek James don't look at Crawford and say to himself, "Damn, I wouldn't really want to face this fighter right here." Okay, I don't think he's 100% confident that Errol Spence could beat Crawford.
I mean, you might be right on that one, but I mean, then you spend years tearing this dude's resume that he built. I mean, that a career that he built. Y'all built to turn it down instead of trying to AB salute, try to build him up and make it a super fight. They did everything to deter him from fight. So, I mean, naturally he going.
It's reverse psychology. That's all that is. Every time he's putting down Crawford, you don't put something down unless it's up. You can't put something down unless it's up. So you have to see that something that's way up there for you to try to put it down. So that's what's going on. It's simple as that. So they think the opposite of Crawford of what they're actually saying. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
TB makes a valid point. He does make a valid point, but I'm just saying this, TBE. There's a rare breed of athlete. And
that's gonna be something crazy. Go ahead.
And the rare breed of athlete, you have the athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods in his prime. You just don't poke the bear. You already know that these dudes, they live for somebody just trying to get them riled up. And it seems like that's what they've been doing to this guy. This is a guy that's overly competitive. And the fact that you guys are, remember, CJ, you can pull it up right now. You can pull up Earl's first Instagram post in regards to promoting this fight. He said it's going to be a one-sided ass whooping. I'm not making it.
You gotta tell himself that, bro. When you gotta walk into the fire, you can't tell yourself you're gonna get burned.
This is true.
I'm gonna get burned. You gotta
say, wait, hold on, TB. Let me correct you. You said walk into the fire. According to your words, when he gets dragged into the fire, because remember, we're not too confident he go walk down there on his own will. We're still not that confident. He's talking the talk, but when it's time to walk the walk, is he gonna walk the walk?
Yeah, I mean, it's too late for that now. Like Crawford said, he hooked him. So now,
he just got to reel him in.
Man, shit, they probably got an escape button on the motherfucking contract.
He got.
It's Crawford. Crawford showed up. Crawford showed up in a Gucci shirt and not a Louis shirt. Contract voided.
Come on, guys.
Come on, man. Oh, he showed up. 146.6. We said 147 on the nose. Man, you know they gonna come up with some motherfuckers.
Fight is off. So TBE, you gotta admit, you can't. When a guy, you, CJ, we're all here in agreement that Bud is a killer. He's a beast in the ring. And when a guy has that type of temperament, would you want to go poking at him to give him extra motivation?
If I know I have to face him, what I'm going to do is tell myself that he's not as bad as he thinks he is. Okay?
You see what you just said? You said tell yourself, not the public.
Yeah.
Some people, I poke the beer on their ass. Some people I will do it. There's some people you don't do it to, though, for sure. But some people I do it.
It's self-defense, man. It's them. They gotta keep telling themselves that Crawford ain't shit. They gotta keep telling themselves that, because if they don't, then they gotta face the reality that, it's not gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all psychology, bro. That's all it is at the end of the day. So because Derek James is a smart guy. He knows boxing. So does Errol Spence, one of a great boxing mind. He knows boxing. He watches boxing. He follows boxing. He watches all of Crawford fights. Okay, so he know what time it is. They all know what time it is, and that's exactly what's going on. You know, every time they mention Crawford's name, bro, something. If the whole team is together and somebody mentions Crawford's name, they start getting upset. Like everybody just get, yo, man, you mention that guy's name, man. What you talking about, man? Yo, man, talking about no Crawford, man. Man, I want to hear about no Crawford, man. That's it. You know, it's like, yo, they're obsessed with Crawford, bro. I'm telling you. It's all over, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they're gonna have to get in there and we're gonna see what's what. But, you know, right now, Derek James is terrified. Okay. If anything, I think Derek James is probably one of the main people most responsible for this fight not going down because he probably didn't want the boy in there with Crawford by any means at all. I mean, I saw him say it on many occasions. You know, he said that this fight didn't have to happen because Spence don't need Crawford for his legacy. Okay, he said that. So,
Hey, he has said that. You're right.
But at the end of the day, what happened is that it turns out that Spence does need Crawford for his legacy because he can't be undisputed without fighting Crawford. Okay, so you know, unless he's gonna put a Teal, you know, but
he might pull a Teal. He would have pulled the Teal if he would have got that Pacquiao fight with the lineal belt on the line.
You're probably right about that, but you know, it is what it is now. We're here, we're here where we are now, so the fight's gonna go down. But you know, I don't think that's they ever really like Crawford said he kind of convinced them to make Spence to make the fight because at the end of the day, what is he gonna do? Who's he gonna fight next if he didn't fight Crawford?
You know, there's the fight we know the fight that he wanted Canelo, but that wasn't available for him.
Unless he's gonna fight Jamel, and that's not gonna be I mean, I don't know how big that fight's gonna be, but
Jamel don't sound like he want to take that fight.
That's his boy. Why would he want to take it?
Earl said he would. Earl said he would.
What did
they both said they would if the money's right. You know, anybody would take the fight if the money's right.
Earl was saying, "I fight him. Who said I wouldn't fight Jamel?" Jamel talking about money. But that shit crazy. Let me get out of here, man. I got to split. Appreciate y'all for coming on anytime to be on the podcast later tonight. Peace.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
TB and Kobe. Appreciate you.